Something massive is cooking in Henderson right now. 3 moves, 3 stories, each one more explosive than the last. And by the time you finish watching this, you're going to understand why the Raiders might just be the most dangerous team nobody is talking about heading into 2026. Let's get into it. The trade rumor that could break Raider Nation in half. Here is the situation. The Los Angeles Rams are hungry. They are not just looking for a piece to add to their defense. They are looking for the piece. The one pass rusher who changes everything. The one guy who makes an entire offensive line nervous before the ball even snaps. And according to strong league sources, the name they keep coming back to is MAXX Crosby. Yes, number 98, the Condor himself. Now before you throw your phone across the room, let's be real about what is actually happening here. The Rams have reportedly been in contact with the Raiders front office to explore what it would take to make this deal happen. And the package they are putting on the table. First-round picks. Multiple ones. The kind of offer that makes even the most loyal front office stop and think. Here is why this rumor is so dangerous. Crosby is not just a good player. He is a monster. Week after week, he is living in the backfield, collapsing pockets, forcing quarterbacks into bad decisions from 10, 15, even 25 yards away. He does not stop. He does not slow down. He is every offensive coordinator's absolute nightmare. But here is the cruel reality of the 2026 NFL economy. Elite pass rushers are the most valuable trade assets in the entire league. And if the Raiders stumble out of the gate this season, General Manager John Spyc could make the call that shocks the entire football world. Think about it this way. The Raiders drafted Fernando Mendoza with the first overall pick. He is the future. He is the face of this franchise for the next decade or more. And if trading MAXX Crosby brings in a war chest of premium draft capital to build around Mendoza, some people in that front office might actually see it as the right move. Does that make it hurt any less? Absolutely not. But the conversation is real. And it is getting louder every single day. So let me ask you this, if you are running the Raiders, do you hold on to the best defensive player on your roster? Or do you cash in and go all in on the Mendoza era right now? Think about that, because the answer is not as simple as it sounds. But wait until you hear what the Raiders might be planning on the offensive side, because this next story changes everything. The cheetah is coming to the desert. You read that right. Tyreek Hill, the fastest human being to ever put on an NFL uniform. The man who has spent years burning cornerbacks alive and making defensive coordinators age 10 years in a single game. According to breaking reports updated in May 2026, the Raiders are actively exploring the possibility of bringing Tyreek Hill to Las Vegas. Let that sink in for a second. Hill, coming off a serious knee surgery in 2025, is looking for one thing: a chance to prove the doubters wrong. And according to analyst Paul Kasabian from Bleacher Report, the Raiders make more sense for Hill than any other team in the league right now. Here is why. Las Vegas can offer him something nobody else can. A guaranteed role as the number 1 receiver. No competition for targets. No sharing the spotlight. Just him, the ball, and a young quarterback who throws it a mile. Now picture this. Fernando Mendoza drops back, plants his feet, and launches a 60-yard bomb down the sideline. And waiting for it at the other end, the cheetah. The man who turns a 5-yard catch into a 45-yard touchdown just by switching directions twice. That is not just a play. That is a problem for every defense in the conference. And it gets deeper than the stats. Having Tyreek Hill on the field means opposing defenses have to commit double coverage to him constantly. That opens up space everywhere else. Suddenly your tight ends are wide open. Your running backs are catching easy balls in space. Your number 2 receiver is getting single coverage all day long. One player changes the entire math of your offense. Yes, there is a medical risk after major knee surgery. Nobody is pretending otherwise. But in the 2026 NFL, where every season is a sprint and every game feels like a playoff game, having a player with Tyreek Hill's speed and football IQ could be the difference between a good season and a deep Super Bowl run. Now here is your comment challenge for today. Who would make a bigger impact for the Raiders in 2026? MAXX Crosby staying or Tyreek Hill arriving? Drop your answer below right now, because this debate is just getting started. But the roster moves do not stop at veterans. Because behind the scenes of the 2026 draft, the Raiders front office pulled off something that the rest of the league did not see coming. The steal of the entire draft. Nobody is talking about every year. There is one pick that defines a draft room's intelligence. One moment where a front office either looks like geniuses or gets exposed as pretenders. This year, the Raiders had that moment at pick number 101. The name is German McCoy, cornerback, and if you have not heard of him yet, you are about to hear about him constantly for the next 10 years. Here is the story. Going into the 2025 college season, McCoy was a consensus top 15 talent. Mock drafts had him going in the first round without question. Scouts were raving about his size at 6'2", his wingspan, his ability to shadow receivers on deep routes without losing a single step. Then, in January 2025, he tore his ACL. And just like that, 31 teams crossed his name off their boards. Not John Spyc. The Raiders GM did not hesitate for a single second. He moved up in the 4th round, giving up only a 7th-round pick in 2027, essentially nothing, to guarantee that no other team could swoop in and steal McCoy at the last second. The rest of the league barely noticed. That was exactly the plan. Spyc was direct about it afterward. He said McCoy was ranked on their internal board well above every other player available at that stage of the draft. They trusted their own evaluation over the fear that scared everyone else away. And they did not just trust their eyes. The Raiders brought in medical professionals who spent months doing a deep dive on McCoy's knee. They checked everything. And when it was done, they were convinced the recovery was on track and the long-term risk was far lower than the outside world believed. Now let's talk about what McCoy actually brings to the field when healthy. At 6'2" with elite wingspan, he has the physical tools to press receivers at the line, jam their routes, and stay in phase on deep balls without giving up easy yards. His tape from 2024 showed a player who processes the game at a professional level. Reading route combinations, anticipating throws, and making plays on the ball that most corners his age simply cannot make. If his knee responds the way the Raiders' medical team believes it will, McCoy is not just a starter. He is a shutdown corner. The kind of player who locks down the opponent's best receiver every single week and gives your defensive coordinator the freedom to get creative everywhere else. Getting that caliber of player in the 4th round is not just a good pick. It is the kind of pick that separates average front offices from the ones that build dynasties. Keep your eye on number 101, because German McCoy could very well be the defensive rookie of the year, and the Raiders got him for almost nothing. So let's bring this all together. The Raiders are potentially moving their best defensive player in a blockbuster trade that could reshape the entire conference. They are chasing a superstar wide receiver who could transform their offense overnight. And they just pulled off one of the smartest picks in the entire 2026 draft without anyone even noticing. This is not a team that is rebuilding. This is a team that is loading up. The Mendoza era is not something that is coming in 3 or 4 years. It might be arriving right now. And if even 2 of these 3 stories turn into reality, the AFC West is in serious trouble. So here is your final question. Are the Raiders actually building a championship roster in 2026? Or is this all smoke and hype with no fire behind it? Drop your take in the comments. Let's have the debate. And if you want to stay locked in on every Raiders move as it happens, you already know what to do. Go Raiders. Let's get every yard.